back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. And man, we had a good evening of boxing today on the Danny Swift Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. And before I get to that, let's just build it up. I was more excited because the young brother from the DMV, Antuanne Russell, actually had a match with Barthelemy. Now, the ending was very controversial, but when I say them boys was slapping some leather, man, they was in there getting it, and it started off to where, it started off to where Gary was, he was hot and heavy. He's very aggressive. I call him the eccentric Punisher, the Demolition Man. And 15 knockouts going into the fight. Barthelemy, he was 29-1-1, and he had 15 knockouts. His only loss was the Carl Relic, and he had a draw with Robert Easton. Went over this in my build up when I said Spark Alert, talking about Gary Antuanne. I've been following Gary Antuanne. Why? Because his connection to Boots and the history they have in the amateurs, and my desire to see him and Tank Davis fight. That's neither here nor there. Even though the man came in the weight at 137 pounds, says he never really gets out of range, and that says a lot. And that was before rehydrating. That was 137, so he's not struggling to make weight. You got the conversations around him, and when Devin Haney said what he said about his big bro, who's now his coach since his father transitioned. He said that he actually, that Mr. Gary Russell had fought a bum, and so he said, "Oh, my brother fought a bum. All right, but since you're 135, whenever you get an opportunity to go ahead and move up 5 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Come see your boy." And Devin and them was like, $5 foot long. They wanted to have smoke. They ain't want no smoke. They ain't want no chimney smoke, no ashtray smoke, no cigarette smoke. No smoke. But I digress. Tonight, it was Barthelemy and Gary Antuanne, and the first person to really get caught with a significant shot was Gary Antuanne. Barthelemy rocked him, and at that point, it was a chess match. It was really a chess match. Mr. Gary Russell started giving Gary Antuanne, some adjustments, and what the clear game plan for Barthelemy was a very good game plan. He kept his distance, and then he started to become a more precise counterpunch. And he did it, the first time he did it with a right, coming right around the guard. The second time he did it with a left, coming around the guard. Finally, it culminated in the 6th round, in which I think in the 5th round, that's when Gary Antuanne really started figuring out Francis, and he was putting it together in the left hand. The left hand had found its home by that time. It was rugged, it was brutal, and I think that it could have been said that maybe Francis might have had stole some rounds, because even in the first time when he caught Gary, it was around when Gary was putting in work and had done a great job. Just the more effective, the hardest, landed punch with the most impact and effect came from Barthelemy, and so that might have caused, depending on how you judge that fight, it might have caused somebody to think that Francis won that round, even though Gary Antuanne had outworked him. Anyways, in the 6th round, Gary, hit him with a right hook. It was a gazelle punch, almost like the same punch that Tank hit Mario Barrios with. And Barthelemy hit the canvas. The referee, it was a long time, because in replay, you see it in replay, and in replay, it seemed like it was a very long time. However, Francis got up. Francis gave an affirmation with a head nod. He put his gloves on the ref's chest. The ref wiped it off, and as the ref was looking at him right in his eyes, the ref just waved the fight off. And my man looked at me and said, "Man, sure? I said, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was clear that, you know, Gary Antuanne was getting ready to go in for the real kill. He was getting ready to go in there for the real kill. But I believe that the ref did premature stop. And I just, you know, I'm just going to be honest. It was a premature stoppage, and I do think that that warrants a run back. This was the first time Gary Antuanne had faced that level of adversity, because he actually got stuck. And you can see that, you know, he was thinking, and he had to actually figure out having the shorter arms, because I had commented on the video before that he had a 3.5 inch reach advantage over Gary Antuanne. So it was a great fight. It was a great scrap. I would have loved to have seen that, you know, I would have loved to have seen that fight continue. You know, the ref came out, he said that he didn't have any comment, and the New York Athletic Commission said that they would withhold comments until they heard from the ref and his explanation. Rance's coach was very livid. You know, he expressed his concern, and he said, look, man, you know, some of these people had their livelihoods at stake. And for it to end like this, for a 2-time champion, you know, a tenured veteran who was really in the fight, you know, he still had a chance. He just got knocked down. It happens. It's boxing, you know. But it was a that was a controversial decision. Then we went on to the Kanaki fight, and you know, they both threw over 1,000 punches. I mean, 5 rounds into the fight, they was over 1,000 punches for 2 heavyweights. I think they was the second. They threw or worked the second most work rate what they were actually saying. So, I do want to go back and look at the Gary Antuanne fight. Kalnaki, I didn't even score that fight. I actually scored the Gary Antuanne Russell fight.
All right, I believe you, but my Tommy-gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
My word, I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all.
You let go outside the ring in the fighter, like I said before, there ain't no safety on the clock, so